Sucking on my own dick. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks.
All right, so now that you're completely spinning out emotionally, let's start recording this podcast.
I know. No, it's okay.
How are
Everything's
you?
Fine. I'm good.
Everything good?
Yeah.
What's new?
My cat is not going to die.
Ooh,
Which
big
almost
news.
yeah, big news. And she's also they gave her a lot of like drugs. They gave her a lot of just like opioids.
Yeah, so you can take those.
What do you think the first thing I Googled was? I was like, it's called like bupepinephrine or something. And I was like, what is this? They're like, the heroin addicts like this. And I'm just like, oh, I got to make sure the cat gets all these. I got to make sure there's none left over.
Yeah, that would be really funny if you fucking became a heroin addict because of kitty cat pills.
They're not pills. They are syringes without needles.
What?
I had to hold her mouth open and shoot the juice in there. She's actually really good about taking. If you just give her a pill, she'll just eat it. Like you don't even have to put it in the treat. She's great. But yeah, I've got like literally like 8 syringes full of like controlled like opioids.
Well, that's no good.
It's no good at all.
Given your history and what I know about you, you got
No, I'm not gonna. I won't because she needs them. Mm-hmm. Look at how responsible I am. I would feel guilty if I had done a drug recreationally that like a hurt person needed, like a hurt person like Rita the cat. But no, I'm not doing any of that. I don't like that.
Damn.
But it's so funny. I don't think that opioids are supposed to make you like horny as fuck, but like that's the only way I can describe her behavior after I give her.
She wants to fuck you?
After I give her these. No, she's just like.
Yeah, doesn't heroin make you like not want to fuck?
Well, it just because it like completely replaces sex. I think.
Yeah.
It's
or like you'll fuck, but you just both won't feel it, and it'll be like 6 hours.
I doubt
This
you
is
can
based
get
off
hard.
like Arrowhead fucking posts and shit.
like what's that Dana Boyle movie? Train Spotting. Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. I just know that like
Yeah, that's what I should start telling chicks when I just like can't come is be like, oh, I'm on heroin.
Yeah,
That's like that's better than
it's like romantic.
the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a big darkness in me. Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
but
that is kind of an angle that I try to play up sometimes with
with the alcoholism.
with the alcoholism.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's a great move. Mm-hmm. Seriously.
It's like, oh, would you like a beer? And then I'm just I'm leaning against the wall, staring off into the distance with sunglasses on. I'm like, can't.
Dude, have we already? I feel like we talked about it on a really early episode. I don't remember. But how, like, when I was 16 or 17, I so romanticized the idea of being a small town alcoholic.
Yeah, we talked about
this, yeah.
With the bowling alley.
The bowling alley. And then the chair in the dark. That is literally, that's the dichotomy of being an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. Doing bits at the bowling alley and then going home to a dark chair.
A dark chair.
And that's, I mean, that's
I gotta
everything
get a
you
chair
want.
in this room.
You need, Brandon,
honestly.
you need to find somewhere to shove a big leather chair to just sit in and be pensive. A reflection chair.
I don't see it as a big leather chair. I see it as a very simple wooden chair. Just like a standard chair.
Why?
I don't know. I like the idea. If I have my own house someday, there's going to be a room that's completely empty and it has one chair in it. And there's no TV, there's no speakers, there's nothing on the wall. And I just go in there to regret.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Well, okay.
I go in there and I just sit in the chair and I'm like, I hope she's happy. Who's happy? Who's to say?
Who's to say?
But I hope she's happy.
You got one of those light bulbs that's just like dangling on a chain, just like in the middle of the room.
Yeah, one of those. Well, no, there's no light in there.
It's a pitch black room.
Yeah, I mean, there's a window, and I go in when the sun is out. But by the time I'm regretting, the sun is down.
The sun has set,
and it is dark in there.
Jesus Christ, dude.
You know, maybe I can look out the window and just sort of see the woods. I'm imagining this as like, it looks out into my backyard, and there's like 100 feet, and then it's just like a very thick woods.
I do, you know what, that is I imagine that what you're describing a lot too. I keep feeling like I'm gonna live there. I have so many images in my head when I was little. I was like, at some point I'll probably live somewhere like that. I think I just got them from like picture books and stuff. But realizing that you won't is very sad.
Yeah. Realizing that it's either L.A. forever or exactly my hometown.
Well, it doesn't. Well, hang on. you can go other places.
Nah, I don't see many options for me.
Nashville's so great. I have a fantasy about living in Nashville.
You got the shirt.
I got the shirt. Yeah, I'm wearing my country music shirt.
That's how it works, I think, is if you want to move somewhere, you have to change your clothes first.
Yeah, because if you show up and you look like a dick, they're not going to let you move in.
Yeah, the local board will prevent it.
Well, it's 11 men in cowboy hats make a game of Red Rover, and they won't let you through.
They won't let you
can't
through
get
into
past
your
the city
house.
limits. No.
That's good.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. I mean, all cities should be run like that. The men in cowboy hats who the men who impede what's the word I want to use? Migrants.
Yeah. That's what Trump's wall should be.
Yeah.
It should just be a bunch of cowboys
Yes.
linking arms. and-
Many tall
and
cowboys.
many tall cowboys all linking arms and shouting. Mexican guy comes up and they all go, no.
Dude, tell them to turn the government back on. You just figured it out.
Flip the switch back on.
I assume that by the time this is released, the government will still be shut down.
Yeah. Is it shut down now?
It's all but certain.
Okay. Man, I was on a date last night with a girl who follows the news, and it was tough to act like I keep up.
Yeah, well, you don't.
I don't at all.
You truly do not.
I actively don't follow the news on purpose.
Yeah, well,
But I mean, I think it's better that way. This girl seemed very unhappy. She was like you, where she's like, man, everything's falling apart. It's so crazy. The world is going to end in 5 years.
it is.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Things will get worse and worse forever, but it's never going to end.
Brendan, things it will. Because
You think the world's going to end?
the rate at which things are advancing is has never been this exponential. Obviously it's always been exponential, but because it's always been exponential, we're going at light speed right now, dude.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm
okay.
an optimist, Nick.
No, you're not. You're on these pills. You're like, where the fuck are my pills?
You hear that optimism, Nick?
I hear it, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, okay, fine. You can believe that. But tell me more about this girl who I agree with.
Okay. I don't know. I just I bungled the date pretty spectacularly.
Sure you did.
In retrospect. I left and I was like, I think that went well. I didn't think it went great, but I was like, I think I did fine. But it was one of those dates. I have this problem where I think I've just forgotten how to flirt because when I go on dates, there's no sexual tension. It's basically I had a long, polite, I treat these women like they're just like my aunt and I'm having a polite chat.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's not that personal, but pleasant. It's going fine, flowing smoothly. But then at the end, it's just very clear they do not want to kiss me. And
and you can't look. Times have changed.
yeah.
You can't just make a woman kiss you anymore.
Well, I mean, it's you got to get a lot of signals.
You have to.
I was thinking, I was like, because I just watched I'm season 5 of the Sopranos.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
getting some ideas.
So I was just like, oh, you can just kind of kiss women.
Wow.
I think it's powerful if you do that. So then no, I didn't.
No, I know.
In my head, but then I get there and the woman's actually there, and I'm like, maybe I will verbally ask if she would like to sit on a bench. That's as close as I can get to making a move. It's do you want to sit over
that's
there?
a good move.
And then she's like, yeah, let's sit. And then she sits as far as physically possible on the bench.
Oh my God, she didn't sit next to you.
No.
Then you don't try.
No, I'm just yeah, no.
The close sit. I mean, there are signals. The close sit is a big signal.
Yeah, the close sit is a big signal. Eye contact, big signal. I was getting none of that.
Eye contact freaks me out because I'm so autistic. When a girl starts making eye contact with me, I just start looking down at the ground.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell if their body language mirrors yours unconsciously.
Sure. We sound so autistic right now.
Listen, I've read Neil Strauss's The Game. Yeah, but you got. Oh, fuck! I just realized I was quoting actual shit from Neil Strauss's The Game.
That's fine. You know, I think
you
people
gotta
probably
check off 3 indicators of interest.
people probably wouldn't know that if you
Yeah.
hadn't said it.
Whatever. When I moved to Philly, I read Neil Strauss's The Game, and I started getting pussy.
And it
so-
worked.
It worked.
So what do you think
You know,
of that? My woke friend also read Neil Strauss's The Game. It's funny because the way he frames it, he's like, it's so interesting. You can't put it down, but like so fucked up.
It's not that fucked up, honestly. The entire book is about like understanding women's psychology and what they want and when they want to fuck you.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of woke, being like, oh, let me understand when a woman is broadcasting that she's interested in me so that I can make a move. That's better than just chaotically like throwing out
Right.
attempts.
Just being like fucking Genghis Khan, just conquesting. I haven't read it. I am not gonna fall on one side or the other of this issue. You sent me the PDF and I've been meaning to read it.
Honestly, it's also just like an entertaining book. It's just,
That's what my friend
it's
said.
like a memoir, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a rock and roll biography, but about himself getting pussy. And it's
Great.
pretty funny, you know? It that fucking mystery guy, it really makes him look like a loser. People,
Yeah, well, no, I mean, you don't need to read The Game to make Mystery look like a loser.
yeah.
Mystery it's flabbergasts me, dude. Like the fact that like I gotta start. I want to start watching that old VH1 show they had again because it was so funny.
Yeah. The crazy thing is like all this, I think Tinder just like made all this go away. Cause like
That's true.
all of the old like pickup artist stuff that was all based off like approaching women in public spaces and like
Don't approach anyone in a public
and
space.
now you just absolutely cannot do that.
Not even like regular platonic, but like if you just like walk up to someone and start like trying, which makes me angry because I'm a real old fashioned guy. I like just talking to literally anyone. People look at you like you're gonna fucking kill them.
Yeah. You try to strike up a conversation with a stranger in the city, they just like hand you their wallet and back away.
It's so there's this news story that just went viral about this old woman who was in a McDonald's and she was trying to talk to like this group of kids, just like she was clearly lonely, trying to make conversation, and they just kind of like brushed her off. And then like this other guy came over and like invited her to sit with him, and they like talked and had a nice conversation. And this woman snapped a picture of it and put it on Twitter, which is like what made it go viral. The guy is just like a 30-year-old black guy, and she's like a 80-year-old white woman. She's like, wow, amazing. He sat down to talk with her, and the two of them couldn't be more different. And I'm like, wow. I mean, he's just a black guy.
Wow. Yeah, that's awful.
I think she might have even used the phrase from two completely different worlds.
Yeah, I love when people like are trying to be progressive and they just fucking they just shoot their dick off immediately.
Nobody seems to be talking about that part. Only Eagle Eye Nikki picked up this weird turn of phrase that she used. But I was just like, he's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just a human man.
Yeah.
You know? What was I gonna say?
I didn't mean to derail you.
Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, I fucked up this date because here was the problem. Is she was telling me she works at some sort of like high-end store where famous people come in all the time, and my I got a little bit too eager with the story because she was like, yeah, a lot of famous people come in and it's weird. And I'm like, really? Like who? And she's like, just like sometimes like if they hand me a credit card that's really heavy, I'll like quick Google them. And this guy came in, he's a director, and I Googled him and I realized like he just got Me Too'd and it was really interesting. And I'm like, hold up, no, wait, you need to tell me exactly who it was.
Was it Big Brian?
It was Brett Ratner.
It was Brett Ratner? Oh!
She's like, yeah, this like fat, disgusting guy came in with these models, and he was just kind of like weird. And I Googled him. Turns out he's like a big director. He just got accused of something. And I'm like, I mean, tell me more. Like, what was his vibe like? What was he like? She's like describing his vibe and like how he gave off like a strange, menacing sense of power. At this point, all the bells are going off. I'm like, oh yes, time for me to go full tilt conspiracy theory.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I misjudged her eagerness to discuss this topic.
Well,
I was just like, man, because she had just kind of moved to LA too. I was like,
Right.
man, it's crazy to be surrounded by the machine.
a better Yeah, that's a very to come out of the gate with the machine.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still, dude. You can still have this conversation. You just got to pick your words a little.
Yeah,
better.
well, the problem is that my only frame of reference for like a long, uninterrupted one-on-one conversation at this point is this podcast with you.
And I was gonna say, and so if out the gate she's like, the world's gonna end in 5 years. I know this director got me too'd, and he's like, he had a menacing aura. You thought you were talking to me.
Yeah,
It was a big green light for you.
I was like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the machine. She's like, oh yeah, I guess. And then I don't know. It just kind of got strange. She's talking. I was like, yeah, like, and they're all like, they were just discussing different stuff. And then somehow Spielberg came up.
Oh no,
and
it's not. He's the one that it's not okay. It's not okay to like shit on him yet.
Yeah, that bummed her out pretty much. She was like, no, the Steven Spielberg is not part of this. And I'm like, no, like, what about Poltergeist?
Yeah, look at the poster in Poltergeist.
Yeah. So I'm like, what about Poltergeist? She's like, what about Poltergeist?
And you didn't remember it well enough, did you?
I didn't remember it well enough, and I explained it so badly that then she started Googling it.
Oh
There
no!
at the table. So then we're fucking like, just like looking at, we're both looking at our phones, reading
Dude.
different articles about the girl from Poltergeist.
Brendan, the Spielberg pedophile conspiracy is like third date at least. That's not a first date topic.
I know, no, I fucked up pretty bad. So then
my
she's
God.
like, it says here she died of septic shock. And I'm like, how do you think you get septic shock? like arguing with her.
Anal contusions.
Yeah. Well, I even used the word anal contusion.
You can't be saying
You can't
the
be
word
saying anal
anal
contusion.
contusion
on dates. Yeah.
On a first date, you said the word anal contusions.
I really did.
And then you were like, so do you want to go sit on a bench? And she was like, okay.
yeah. I don't know. It was just strange because it was one of those dates where it like goes on like until the like it went on until like Barnes and Noble closed, and then like the Americana, like the property closed and everything. It like
How
went on,
late was that?
like after midnight.
Jesus, man.
Met at like 8:15. It went till like midnight, and then I left. I'm like, I think that went very bad.
Yeah, you're never a long day. I mean, yeah, well, because I know typically a long date's good, but there are kinds of long dates where it's like both people. She maybe wants to leave, but is too polite, or is / like too scared of you to like try.
No,
to
I mean
leave.
this girl wasn't scared of me, but it was
Right.
like I was definitely
Nah.
not creating like a sexy.
Not scared of you. I don't mean like, but just like not, like doesn't want to like. I don't know. Doesn't want to make you feel bad, I guess is what I mean.
Yeah, I mean I don't think I project like a sense that you would make me feel bad.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean I went into it with like an out in mind for like if it sucked.
Yeah, what was your out?
My out was just like you just make up an obligation that you have in the morning and you have to leave. You have
Okay.
to,
Yeah,
you have to have an early morning.
Right.
I was gonna say that like I was hiking with a friend or something.
What a fib.
Yeah. What a grand fib.
What a grand fib on your part.
Mm-hmm.
But go on.
No, that was my plan, and then then I got you get the sense you're like this is going just well enough that I'm going to continue it as long as possible,
Oh man.
but not so well that it's a winner in any way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have see my theory is probably both sides of this. Both of you probably had the same feeling, so you just ended up in like this
Yeah.
weird like dead like
You're like this is fine.
yeah, it's fine enough.
Yeah,
So you think you're probably not going to see this girl again.
probably not. The crazy thing is like when you wind up like hooking up with someone still in that zone where you're like this
oh
is
yes.
as good as it needs to be.
I did that for like a month.
Yeah, and then there's no reason to stop it because like neither one of you are meeting anyone who you actually like have a connection with.
I think when I was doing I knew my reason to stop it was that I was still sort of living in my car. And I had not slept in a bed in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my month of extravagance.
For you, just being in a girl's apartment, it was like you were at the Ritz Carlton.
Dude, it was like I was at the fucking Ritz Carlton, dude.
What is that? Towels?
It would be so funny because I would just I would show up and I'd be like, hey, can I use your shower really quick? I just didn't get a chance. Like I was at the gym and I was just using her house to shower in.
Damn.
First thing I did every time I got there.
You were using this bitch as a Planet Fitness.
Yeah, I was.
That rules.
Yeah, What do you want?
Man, Planet Fitness, do you think they know that they're like for homeless people? They have to know.
I think on some level they do. They didn't give a fuck when I was like sleeping in their parking lot for like 2 months. Yeah, I think they know.
Yeah, I remember my buddy Robert in high school. His dad kicked him out of the house like the like halfway through senior year, and he just lived in his van in the Planet Fitness parking lot, like selling opium.
Yeah, they won't do anything about it.
Yeah, man, that was a fun year, senior year of high school, where our friend Robert, his dad was like a guitar tech for Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, whoa.
So he just went on tour. And then Robert just like lived in a house with no one around.
Completely by
himself. So
I had a friend like this.
Yeah. So we would just like go over and like smoke cigarettes in the living room and smoke weed and listen to records and stuff.
So that is the bet. Dude, I had my friend Neil was like that. And there was a great blizzard in like, it was 2009 or 2010. It was like 3 feet of snow in Maryland. And his dad was away in Iraq because he was like a contractor. He was like a military contractor, something.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he was doing something in Iraq.
Sounds very very suspicious and evil.
Yeah, and his mom wasn't there either. I don't remember. So it was just this giant, like 3-story house. They were like a rich family, huge bedrooms, all this stuff. And we got snowed in there, and it was literally, oh my god, I'm remembering so many things. We were just like trying all the drugs, just like trying different, because Neil had a lot of drugs. Like his brother was a drug dealer. We were like smoking weed, staying up all night watching movies. Like we were down in his basement playing on his instruments. And then we started playing with the katana that his great-grandfather, I think, who fought in World War II, got off of a Japanese general. And this sword that I would imagine slayed at least like a few dozen American soldiers, at the very least, like definitely shed American blood. We were using it to just like cut up boxes of Triscuits, throw boxes of Triscuits in the air, and just like slice them with this actual sword.
That rule
from the fucking islands.
Were there like confirmed sword kills in World War II?
I don't know. I just know that the Japanese got so crazy with the way they fucking like tortured prisoners that it had to have shed fucking American blood.
Yeah, I
You
could
know
see
what
that
I mean?
like a prisoner camp kill, like to
Yeah.
intimidate the other.
No,
soldier.
nobody was rushing out with a damn sword.
Yeah, that would be cool. Just Last Samurai, fucking run out.
Although, I mean,
they're shooting
honestly,
you with a Gatling gun. You fucking throw a ninja star.
I gotta be honest, dude. Looking at some of the Japanese's other techniques in World War II, I wouldn't be shocked if you run out of ammo, they're just like, yeah, use the sword. That's why we gave you the sword.
Yeah. You know what would be sick is you run out of ammo in your plane. You jettison out of the plane and then you parachute down with a sword drawn.
So yes, yeah, and they did that actually. I was listening to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, and they had entire squadrons like that,
just sword parachute squadron
floating slowly to the ground with their swords drawn.
Man,
But yeah.
I guess that's retarded because you would poke holes in the parachute immediately.
If you drew the sword?
I assume. Or like you draw the sword and you do a flourish and you just cut the parachute off you. You're like, crap.
I will say it's if you're like falling through the air, it's probably hard to keep a sword steady in your hand. Mm-hmm. But we don't need to talk about the logistics of swords.
I would jump out of the plane. I would angle the sword like my dick, so then I land and it's like the sword's my dick.
That would be sick.
I think that would be intimidating.
You would make a great Japanese soldier.
I would.
Can I tell you? Mm-hmm. I don't know if they'd have you, but I think
I
you
would
do
fit
well.
in. I mean, I'd be the same height as all of them.
Well, I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's
Aren't people
true,
in
dude.
Asia shorter?
Not like you.
Not like me.
They're generally shorter, but they're still taller than you.
Let me have this.
Okay, sure. No,
Damn.
you are unusually
You should get a
small.
sword so that we can play with our swords.
I don't know. It's funny. I like swords are cool, and I liked playing with that sword that one time. But I'm not particularly drawn to like sword. Not katanas anyway. I don't know why. Something about them. I would maybe get like a broadsword, a nice like medieval sword.
That would be nice.
That would be fun to fight with. Like that'd be kind of like Soul Calibur if we each had our own unique swords and styles.
Yeah, we each train with different techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that'll be the last episode of the cast. Episode 100 is we record a full cast, and then you hear us put down the microphones, and then I mean these are directional mics, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't hear, but you can vaguely hear one of us slay the other.
Yeah, just like a nice field recording of two boys killing each other with swords, with old swords.
Old swords.
Yeah, I always like.
We're gonna buy. We're gonna spend all the money that we have on whatever the oldest swords we can afford is. That's the only criteria is age of sword.
It was a real sword at one point, wielded by some noble person.
Some noble person or perhaps a bandit.
But I swear to God, when I held this this sword that was really from World War II, it's like I could feel the dead souls of every American soldier that it slayed, just like just flowing through me.
It's like fucking Skyrim where you enchant it to trap souls.
Yes, dude.
Fucking you kill someone and then it goes.
Just all the fucking American virgins just like shoot their ghosts just like shooting into my arms.
Damn,
just these
that would suck
18-year-old
it.
boys.
How many people do you think died virgins on the battlefield? I mean,
Loads.
You got a horror, right?
Yeah, that's true. That you would like because if you got leave, yeah, there were you could fuck whores in World War II. They let you do that. But I would still, dude. I'd still be willing to bet. Like, you think about D-Day. You think about how many people just got like literally like the plan was like, all right, yeah, we have these boats full of guys. We know that like 90% of them are gonna die, but we're just gonna throw human bodies at Normandy Beach until like one of them makes it through. Like. Most got like literally from the minute I feel like they touched down, they just fucking died.
I feel like I've seen Saving Private Ryan. I feel like I could point out some key problems with the approach to Normandy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like problem number 1, put the door of the boat on the other side.
So they go out the back.
Yeah, so they go out the back 2 different directions.
Would that have fucked with the motor on the boat though?
I don't know. Fucking just.
I'm just trying to wonder why it would be like that.
I mean, the boats land, then they just open the door, and then everyone in the boat gets immediately shot with machine guns. They're
Right.
like, send another one.
Yeah, and then they just do that until like they're like eventually they'll have to reload.
Yeah.
And when that's happening, like 3 guys can go around the side.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just noticed
right.
something. Wait,
Send 100 extras, and then eventually they'll have to reload, and then throw Tom Hanks in there.
yeah. Tom Hanks. If Tom Hanks is recognizable, he's definitely gonna get
He's gonna get in.
that. Saving Private Ryan would rule if like Tom Hanks died in like the first 5 minutes. You'd be like, oh wow, that was subversive. It's so funny when like you like to show us like a bit like to have the reveal. My friend talks about this all the time. He's like the whole thing about like the Bourne Identity is like the first reveal of like Jason Bourne. Like even though he is Jason Bourne, the camera is really going, look, it's Matt Damon. And so it's the same thing with Tom Hanks in that movie where it's just like, oh, all right, he's the guy.
It'd be funny if like only for 1 second they broke the fourth wall and like they were about to shoot him, and then the other German guy was like, no, it's Tom Hanks.
That's Thomas Hanks, dude.
They're like, oh, okay.
He's a very powerful pedophile. You don't want that blood on your hands.
Then the whole rest of the movie is exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I just noticed this sad thing. You flipped your poster around.
Oh yeah, I did.
Just in case.
In case the date went well. I wanted the room to look kind of normal. And then as I was leaving, I remembered the Christmas tree with all of the canceled comedian ornaments.
Oh, so it wouldn't have mattered. So this is what actually happened. You're like, well, I can't bring her back, so I might as well start talking about the Hollywood cabal.
I wish it was that intentional.
It's so funny, dude.
Yeah, women hate it when you discuss the Hollywood pedophile conspiracy.
Women do not like when you discuss the damn cabal.
Yeah, because it was funny, like the difference of the sources that we were reading on our phone.
Oh, what were yours?
Like hers was like Snopes or something, where it's like,
but here's the fucking thing with that, dude. Because regular so. I mean, I'm gonna sound like a nutcase, but you know,
mine was like the Pizzagate website.
okay, that's also bad.
I'm
You've
like-
got to find a good medium.
Yeah, where I was like, what about this article? Did the girl from Poltergeist die in a Pedogate conspiracy?
No,
She's
no.
like, Pedogate? Christ.
Brendan. You don't even like have to show her that. Like, it's better when it's off the cuff because you can tell her the really weird thing about the fact that there is a Poltergeist came out in like 82, and there's a poster for the 1988 Super Bowl in her room, clear as day. It's very weird. She died on the day of the 1988 Super Bowl.
I wish I knew that.
Brendan, that is the thing where I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, literally, it was a poster for a Super Bowl that wouldn't happen for another 6 years in the little girl's. It's in the little brother's room in Poltergeist. It's there. You can watch. I've seen the stills, and then you pull up the movie. It's there. And that the day that what the fuck is her name? Heather Ann? I can't remember the actress's name.
It's something like that.
She died. She died on the day of the 1988 Super Bowl. That is when she went to the hospital and died. It's so weird.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Yeah. Well, it was
anyway,
a satanic blood ritual,
Yeah.
so that the movies would be good.
Anyway, I hope that girl listens to this episode so that she knows that I was right about this.
Oh yeah, I know her name, so I'm gonna find her and send this to her.
Man, it's gonna be really terrible someday when like a girl that I go out with like finds this podcast.
Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that thought a lot, where like I've been talking to someone who knows that I have a podcast, but they don't know
What it's like.
what it's like, and they're like, "I'm gonna listen to your podcast one day," and I'm just like, I mean, it's not really good. I'll tell you when you can listen. It's not really a good podcast yet.
Yeah, just you just tell them like, it sucks.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't know. What I've started doing is just like I've started catching myself where like, because this podcast is like one of the only things that I actually am like proud in terms of work that I'm doing. Like I'm very proud of. But you just can't share it with people.
No,
It's not smart to do.
Well, I mean, luckily, I can mention this around comedians because like no comedian is gonna like listen to another person they know's podcast.
Why would they?
Absolutely not. But yeah, I mean, regular people, it would be very terrible if they found this.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Like I was at work and we were discussing like when jobs will Google you before they hire you. And I have my job, so I just assumed I was like, I feel like a lot of places don't actually do that.
Right.
And then one of my other coworkers was like, no, like the vice president like told me that she definitely does that. And I'm just like, well, fuck, why did they hire me?
Man, I had that thought. Like, I literally had that experience where, like, I was just picking up a gig on Craigslist, and like I got hired for just like a weekend to work for this place. It was like a decent thing. I was like doing like labor for this company, for a good rate. And I talked to the woman on the phone. She's like, "Great, we'll show up tomorrow. Like, we're really excited to have you on. Do you sound like you're a great guy?" And then she called me back 45 minutes later. She's like, "Hey, Nick, sorry, we forgot that we actually already told someone else that they could have your position. So like, I messed up and I double booked it. But we've got your info, so we'll like use you again in the future." And I just hung up and I was like, I think she looked at my Twitter. I think that she found my Twitter like in the 45 minutes.
What happens when you Google Nick Oldershaw?
I don't want to do this because I know what happens when you Google me.
It's just your Twitter, your IMDb, and your Facebook.
Anything else?
Instagram, Reasonable Beef videos, Maddox's podcast,
Oh yeah, there's a terrible thing that I was in.
old headshot of
Old
you
headshots.
with mop hair.
I don't really want people to do this.
And then Coward Hour, way at the bottom. That's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Plus, your Twitter is like not that wild.
Oh, I deleted all the wild tweets, and I don't care who's. I don't think can people still find those, like the Wayback Machine or something. I just made.
I mean, if people cared enough,
They
but
could.
it's not like going to come up on Google.
I trust all our listeners. I found there was this app after James Gunn got in trouble. I was like, all right, I'm gonna delete every tweet I tweeted before this year, which I did, and it was a huge weight off my shoulders. Because there was some I don't know what the fuck I was doing when I'll tell you what, I was like 17 when I joined Twitter, and that's just not a good recipe.
Yeah. I did a quick audit of just like searching for my handle and every slur.
Yo, you have to.
That was the best I did, is I'm just like, at Barndog Kark, retarded. At Barndog Kark, faggot. Right. Like, just every single one.
You know, I refuse to stop saying retarded.
You do it in like the promo tweet every week.
I don't even think it's bad, dude.
It doesn't feel wrong.
No, calling things retarded, I wouldn't.
I mean, certain words that I like to say for humor, when I say them, I'm like, yeah, I'm not supposed to do that. But retarded, it just fucking,
it's great.
it comes out so musically.
Yeah, I only use it for like, and the only people who I call retarded are like bad white men. So whatever. I guess it has yet to be misused in my hands. They like that.
President Trump is a fucking
He's a
retard. Yeah.
retard Trump, dude.
Yeah. People like that. Then everyone's like, wow, they're part of the resistance.
I was at a party.
President Trump is a fucking boop. It's like, I mean, I guess his heart's in the right place.
I went to a party with Michael invited me to this party full of like Emerson kids, that super liberal arts college in Boston, because they all come out here, I guess, because they all do like film stuff. And I had one gin and tonic, so I was a little bit
I
fucking.
love how immediately you get drunk.
Because I don't drink anymore, dude. I was fucking tuned up off one gin and tonic, and I just go. I kind of just like grab Michael and I go, "Hey, do Emerson kids care if you used to call things retarded?" He goes, "Yeah, they do. They care so much." I was like, "I don't give a shit, dude. It's coming out." And then I managed to like literally I just like sat down. Now the one girl was actually really cool. She was like actually like she was cool. She's like ultra leftist, but like was just willing, like understood that I was joking and was like playing along. But everyone at the table, I just started a fucking like gun debate. But then this guy who sat down, he was trying to be complimentary. He was like, "Hey, he's like, you know that you look like the main Nazi from Inglourious Basterds?" And I was like, "Well, if you think that, get ready for these opinions."
Wait, he thought you looked like Hans Landa?
I thought I looked like Daniel Bruhl, the sniper. I guess it's not the main Nazi.
Okay.
I wish I looked like Christoph Waltz, but I just started a gun debate. I was like, yeah, but guns are fucking sick, dude. I was like, you need to fucking arm up, because I started talking about the end
Telling
of days.
Emerson kids they need to buy guns.
Yes, dude. I started talking about the end of days with these fucking like with this girl with like a pixie haircut and like this loser of a kid next to me, and I'll like. Oh god, yeah. No, and there was someone else there who I won't talk about. But anyway, I gotta censor myself. We got into a debate. I was like, I just don't think that the government is the only entity that should be allowed to be dangerous. Like, I think that citizens should have the right to bear arms is kind of important. And he goes, I don't think that anyone. He's like, the government should be powerful. He's like a good society is predicated on a powerful government and subservient. Dude, I was like, what the fuck are you, dude? You're like,
What is this fucking Ari Kaplan?
No, dude. But like, maybe that's what's happening at these fucking like liberal arts colleges, where like this kid like called himself an ultra leftist, and he was literally saying like the betterment of society, for the betterment of society, we have to like forego like giving so much of a fuck about the individual. I get it to an extent, but like what he was saying was some fucking wild shit.
Well, in my opinion, the only person who should be allowed to have guns is Hillary Clinton, and she should have all of them.
Yeah. Hillary Clinton should have all the guns. She should be allowed to just like stroll the streets with her big Desert Eagle, just like fucking just spinning keys on her. I don't know what they're too.
Hillary Clinton should be allowed to shoot Pizzagate babies with all the guns.
Pizzagate. Wait, hang on. What's a Pizzagate baby?
The babies from from Comet Ping
I didn't
Pong.
know if it was babies who were like complicit in Pizzagate, like babies.
A baby behind a desk.
Yeah, who's selling
Just like
out other
writing
babies.
a check for hush money.
Yeah. The fucking the Oscar Schindler of fucking babies. That was his name, right? Oscar.
That's the opposite of Schindler.
No, but Schindler was also selling Jews out.
Was he?
Yes, as well as because I think he felt guilty about it. I don't know. It's been a
Oh, and then
long
he
time.
stopped and then he saved them.
Right, like 60 of them or something. Not that many.
Yeah, that's what Spielberg is gonna do. He's gonna be like, he's just gonna have been fucking destroying children for years. Then he's gonna save like 12 of
He's
them.
gonna save 12. They're gonna be. It's like reverse, like sacrificial lambs. They'll be like, no, see, I was good. I saved these kids, and that's what people. You're exactly right. That's what people are gonna remember, and they're gonna ignore the fucking anal contusions on game day,
I also brought up the original script for Indiana Jones with how old.
where she's like 14 or whatever.
yeah, that didn't go over either.
Oh yeah, there's a transcript of that conversation where it's him and Lucas and I think John Milius, and they're talking about they're like, yeah, but she should be 14. It's like it was wrong. She didn't want to, but he was a man. Like the way they're describing it, it's like they want to fuck Indiana Jones. It's really weird.
Did you ever read that Woody Allen article where he where he donated his journals to the library for some horror?
Why the fuck would you
what
do
a
that?
stupid move! And then some journalists like, well, obviously I'm going to go there and I'm going to read these and
You
write
have
an article
to.
about it. And then the fucking story where he's like, Jennifer was 17, and then it's crossed out, and then it says 13, and then crossed out, and then he's like, 15.
A reasonable age.
Yeah,
What a fucking idiot.
I know.
I
It is-
love that.
It's so funny to be like an inept pedophile.
It is.
Oh, it's just like a nebbish, like bumbling pedophile.
I love that. Like in all,
Well,
like
did I accidentally fuck a child?
my mother always said that I had a something. But I love that. Like he crossed it out twice. At no point was 18 even a consideration.
Yeah.
It's like, and like the thing that's so
Woody Allen's just like fingering a young girl, and the roller coaster is going outside the window from fucking Annie Hall.
it's just like
I grew up on Coney Island.
we had a different set of rules. But the thing about fucking deciding whether or not to make her 17 or 13 or 15, it's just like the thing about that's crazy. It's like, have you ever tried to interact with like an 18-year-old, like an 18-year-old girl recently? It's like,
Christ.
dude, it's like talking to. At times, it's like talking to a fucking 14-year-old. I'm just like, how are people even like, even if if the legal age is obviously 18, it's just like that's cutting it so close, just on like an emotional level. It's like she's fucking clearly she can barely have an adult conversation, you know?
Yeah.
So to be like to blow past 18 and be like 15, that's who I want to have a emotional relationship with.
Christ.
That's fucking insane, dude. There's nothing good to talk about. They have terrible taste in music. I love that this is the reason. These are my reasons for not fucking kids.
Yeah, that's your only reason. It's like,
Oh, they're annoying.
oh, what are you listening to? Oh, you just discovered the Pixies.
It's just like Nick. Would you ever fuck kids? It's like, maybe if they were smarter.
Yeah, maybe if they were cool. Maybe if I met like a cool kid,
Yeah,
like a kid with like a sick record collection.
yeah, dude. Yeah, that's right. The minute that I meet
Yeah.
a kid who is just like, actually, I really am into spiritualized later work as well as the early stuff. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
be like, all right, come on, you proved yourself.
Yeah, some 11-year-old walks into your room and she's like, "Oh, I actually have the limited run pressing on colored vinyl."
Yeah. just like an 8-year-old boy who in a Ted Leo and the Pharmacist T-shirt. I'm just like, oh, come on! I didn't know it existed. We got to stop doing these "what if we were a pedophile" bits.
It's coming across goofy.
I guess this is our brand.
Yeah, well, I mean, what else are we gonna talk about, really?
I know nothing's really happening in our lives. It is sad when your life is at such a standstill that you just like speculate it. Like
Yeah,
you
we're just like-
speculate
it's
about.
like, oh, Nick, so what did you do this week? Nothing. Me too. All right. Well, would you like to discuss the overarching tentacles of
Yeah.
the conspiracy?
the ins and outs of dating as a pedophile. What would you do differently? And it's not good.
Yeah. Where would you even take them?
Yeah, that's the big yeah, where would you? You can't take him to a nice restaurant because that's fucking all. But then again, I don't know. Like, I feel like you could do that in the 90s. I feel like there were a lot of movies in the 90s where like an adult was like in charge of a kid, and there was always like a scene where like they took them to like, I don't know, like a nice like. I'm trying to think of literally what the example is. I want to say First Kid, but I don't think so.
That's I'm imagining it. It's like old style mafia where it's like Friday you take out your wife, Saturday you take out your mistress, and then Sunday you take out a child.
What do you call it? If the mistress is a guma, I'm trying to-
Guma.
what do you call it?
something like I don't know. It's like Guma, but like shorter. It's like
I don't know. I don't know if I want to make up a Italian slur for the boy that you fuck.
It's like your wife, your Guma, and your Gum Gum, or something. I don't know. Something cute.
I was with my freaking gum gum. He's a kid. He makes a mess. What do you want?
Christ.
Oh,
This is a vile cast.
just imagine like Carmela finds like fucking like she finds like boogers and Legos and like the passenger. She's like, Tony, what is this? Who left these here, Tony?
Yeah. She leaves like a fucking like a ring pop next to his keys so that he knows, and then he
Yeah, could you imagine because what's Tony's girlfriend with BPD?
the car salesman lady.
Yeah.
The one where I just like got instantly rock hard. Like
Yeah, right.
like once I'm like, ooh, this is familiar.
Hey, is she the one where she just like fucks up the steak like because she's mad at him?
Yeah. She
Yeah.
like throws the steak, and then he has that other Guma who looks like exactly like her.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I gotta rewatch The Sopranos. Yeah, both those Gumas got me like I was like, oh, dude. I was like, I get it.
Damn, I'm just so attracted to Italian women. There's like none of them out here.
Yeah, volatile. Well, there are. They're just like I feel like they're all kind of above your pay grade.
Yeah. I miss PA Maryland where they were just like they were just like Jersey Italian girls everywhere.
And they're all down. You know, it is crazy. Like, I'm trying to find somewhere that strikes just because I'm thinking about the way those girls dress, how like literally they all dress exactly the same. Like, I was just like going through like photos. What do you mean?
Explain more what you mean. I think I get it, but
Like there's like a Maryland, like there's like a basic white girl uniform in Maryland. It's like the same like white scarf, black leggings, and then like a tan. I don't know. I literally don't know how to describe it. But I was like scrolling through my timeline, looking, and like 4 separate girls all had essentially the same outfit. Which is, and I was having this conversation with my roommate Cameron, because like everyone out here has such a look. Like you walk down fucking Melrose or like over, and like everyone is dressed like to the other end of the spectrum so insanely. Where like it's just not a realistic way to dress at like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Versus
yeah.
where like now I'm like looking back at home and I'm just like, oh yeah, I guess people at home like if they don't really seem to pay that much attention to like the way that they dress. They just have like these set. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I mean, there's like normie fashion, and then
Right.
there's like just generic hipster look, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm just like becoming very aware. Like I've been becoming very aware of like all these things that I think I wasn't aware of till I'd spent like 3 years in LA now, and I'm just like, oh yeah, the way like small town vibes are starting to like I'm noticing them because that just used to be.
Just how
like,
it was.
the baseline, right? The baseline of how things are, and now like when I see like pictures back home, it's like, oh yeah, all my friends, like their Saturday night was like they went out to the Tap House on Old County Road, and like that was like the big event of their week,
And they all look so happy.
and they all look super happy. But because in my head, I'm like, well, nothing's even fucking happening. But then like I'm in LA, where like you can literally do something cool and insane every night of the week, and I'm just like. Man, I want to buy a gun, but I know if I have a gun, that something bad's gonna happen to me. Like,
Damn, we gotta split up a gun. Here's
you're
how it
right.
works.
We have to break the gun. If
We need to
we gotta
break-
Voltron the gun.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we want to use the gun.
Yeah, you'll have the cartridge and the bullets and the firing pin, and I'll have like the frame, and
You get the cool part of the gun.
we'll trade them off. We'll trade them
Alright.
off like every month, and then we both go to the range because. As I've discovered, you're not allowed to go to the range alone.
Not by
and-
yourself.
And rent a gun. I mean, you can go if you own a gun, but they won't rent you a gun if you're alone.
Damn.
I've
That's-
been doing a bit about it.
I think it's good. I think it's probably good.
Yeah.
I would be so
Because a man just shows up, walks out of the woods, and asks to rent a gun. He's gonna kill himself, 100%.
absolutely. It'd be so. It would be so funny because, like, I guess, like, so if we trade off the parts of the gun, which you're right is fair, but there will be a moment of tension every week when we meet. And it would just be so funny if, like, one time, like, as I'm handing you your piece, I hang onto mine too, and I just have the whole gun. And you go, Nick, no. And I just go, fuck you, Brendan. And I just, like, shove it in my mouth and kill myself.
We gotta do this like divorced parents. It's in like a Wendy's parking lot.
And
Fuck
then
yeah. What?
You take a minute to mourn me, but then realize that now you have access
Now I
to
have
the
the gun.
complete gun, and then you just kill yourself. It's just like The Happening.
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
like, we just, like, kill ourselves in a row.
Nah, dude, we're definitely gonna kill ourselves one bullet through both our heads.
No, that's fucking gay, dude. That is so gay.
Nah, we're gonna go in for like a one-armed like bro hug and fucking shoot through our heads.
I know, because see, I don't trust that. I love this the idea as this bit, but if we're gonna be realistic, because there's so many instances of that where someone like puts a gun to their head. If it's not through the mouth, if you put a gun to your head, the bullet will curve around your skull. Like not all the time, but more often than you'd think.
Yeah, but I mean, no one's gonna save us. No one's gonna be there to call the ambulance.
I don't want to have to do like a double, like weird, like headshot thing with you, because like a bullet going around your
Double
head-
tap yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking double tap myself, dude.
Damn.
There's a more efficient way to do this.
We could kill ourselves with a sword. We could swing the sword, cut both our heads off.
So, No, what logistically? What are you even talking about?
All right, we'd have to get Isaac to kill us with the sword.
Isaac's not strong enough to kill us with a sword.
That would he fucking like 5 or 6 whacks, and we're
Yeah.
like, Isaac,
Come on.
fucking get us, dude.
No, dude, I don't like this whole. I don't want to kill ourselves. I don't want like our bodies to be touching when we kill ourselves.
Yeah,
That's
we don't
gay.
want to die gay.
Yeah,
We want to
it would
very
suck.
hetero death. Like preferably, I'm fucking a woman, and then you shoot me in the back of the head, and then I die, and then I go soft in the pussy one last time,
Right. Dying as he lived.
dying as I lived, soft in the damn pussy.
Soft in the damn pussy. Oh, dude. And then she's like, yeah, I mean, you're not really considering the woman in that situation at all. That's horrible for her. Does she know?
Yeah, let's say that she's
It's her thing.
It's her thing. Yeah, she wants a man to die inside of her for some reason. That's her.
Honest, I kind of get that. I could see how that could be a thing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And who are we to judge?
I didn't realize that soaking was like a Jewish thing.
What is soaking?
So I used to like to do this where like it's just like sometimes like it's nice to have sex, but it's also sometimes nice just to like, you know, put your dick in the pussy and just like let it hang out. Just like kind of lay on top of the person and let it hang out there. Because my dick will stay hard. I don't need the stimulation to keep my dick hard, like some people in this room. And I would just be like, I think I called it.
My dick's kind of back though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
A little bit. Yeah. Last night, when I came home, and you know that like post date where you don't get laid, that like sad beat off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that, and I was like, "This is pretty solid."
Nice,
and
dude.
I didn't. You were right about with I trimmed up. And I was like, that looks pretty good.
It's like a whole new man down there, dude.
It's like a whole new man. Except for some reason, when I trimmed it, and then when I was looking at my soft dick in the mirror, it somehow made it look smaller.
So I know what you mean a little bit, but
It just looks like when it's soft and there's no hair, it just looks very silly. There, like it legit looks like a Greek statue, where it's like that small regal.
well,
dick.
that is not good because the thing about those statues is they made them make the dick smaller as like a form of censorship.
I thought it wasn't censorship, but it was that like a large dick was considered like unrefined. Like it was like if you had a big dick,
Right,
it was like embarrassing.
Having a small dick makes you a man about town. You're just
Yeah.
like Fraser Crane.
Well, I mean, they were ancient Greeks, so it's like look at him with that giant dick. I bet he can't even fit it inside a child.
It is true.
I'm doing the Woody Allen voice
but I
again.
you know,
Just
listen,
Woody Allen in a toga.
Socrates was a good
What are you
friend
even
of
gonna
mine.
do? What are you even gonna do with that giant cock?
I used to have a joke about oh fuck, I can't remember who the fuck it was about. It was about one of the it was about like majoring in philosophy and like why do we still give a shit about philosophy? Philosophy was just like it was just thought up by a bunch of like Greek pedophiles who just kind of were they just like were sleepy all day and poured wine on 9-year-olds and we're still just like, yeah, listen to those guys. They were doing some important work.
Yeah, you're right. It is funny to think of those guys. They're like you're committing like monstrous acts on children. Then you're like, what if there was a new kind of triangle?
Yeah. Well, no, or it's literally it's just like, it's like they're all like fucking children who are in the single digits, and they're just like, but it's actually okay because like I was thinking about it, and nothing really matters. Like Allegory of the Cave, like what is this?
Yeah, they're doing that, and they're just inventing math.
Yeah. It's the two things that I hate the most.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They invented math to keep everybody
Yeah.
like mentally occupied.
They're like, I invented math so that we can calculate the volume of a child's asshole.
Right.
You know, pi times whatever times the height.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Really
yeah.
figure that out.
Boom. They totally. I was trying to come up with a joke about like they invented math to, but it doesn't matter. Something about the ages of the children. Oh God, I wish Pedophilia wasn't so funny.
It is.
It's so
pretty
funny.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. But
do you have another topic? that you
no,
want to
well, I
discuss?
do. I like
Got like 7 minutes left.
no. What were we talking about before we started talking about the Greeks? Because there was something I was gonna say. Oh, you're talking about your dick coming back.
Yeah, my dick came back. I'm taking the ginkgo
Ginkgo bilogo, whatever the
I
fuck
don't
it
remember
is.
what it is.
Um,
It's a little plastic pill full of dirt. And
I mean I believe that shit probably works.
it seems to be.
I mean, honestly, the fact that you're working out now, you're gonna do wonders for your circulation, dude.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest thing with me is like I seriously started to think when I was just like leading like my shitty lifestyle, just like depressed, not working out, eating like white bread all the time. White bread will fucking kill you.
Yeah, it's not good.
I was like, because Tim and I were talking about having bad dicks, and I was like, shit, I think my dick is starting to go. And now, oh my god, the boys are back in town, dude. Just like every time I get a Thin Lizzy plays every time I get a
You're
boner.
just looking at like a medium boner.
Or just like my dick gets hard, I'm just like, tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak.
You're fucking. I don't. This doesn't fit the reference, but I'm just imagining you like Risky Business sliding across the wooden floor with like a full hard on.
Oh yeah, dude. I do that when I wake up in the morning when Cameron and Colin aren't there. Just like in my socks, walking on the tile, totally naked. Yeah, man. I love it. I love having hard tile floor. I love fucking slipping and sliding on my hard tile floor.
When I was a kid, I used to just like press my dick on like cold tile.
No. You don't get to do that. You don't get to try to relate to my like
No, you didn't used to just like press your dick on different surfaces.
No. I did. You and Isaac did this.
Like against the side of a car.
No. I definitely never pressed my dick against the side of a car.
The underside of a desk in school.
No.
No?
No.
You're just fucking like pressing upward.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
You can't. Brendan, you're not supposed to be stimulating your dick while class is in session.
It's not like this was like high school. It was middle school.
It's still bad.
Middle school, there's no rules.
There are fucking rules, dude.
Nah, it's fucking it's like when it's creatine, but for your dick. Your brain is flooding your dick with new chemicals.
It's not.
No?
That's you don't get to just say what is like creatine.
It's exactly like
Creatine has changed my life. I don't want you making any false comparisons. But no, you know, I was thinking about like in middle school. It is so funny that I saw, touched, and licked boobs a full year before I even figured out how to jack off.
What?
I jacked off late, dude. I jacked off late, and
Explain.
there was just, I was in a production in middle school. I think have I talked about this? I was in Honk because this is also the play where that guy who came out as gay gave me those magazines.
Oh
maybe.
yeah. We just
Because his whole thing is he was jerking off and I didn't know what to do yet. So he was jacking off. I was just looking at the magazines, right? So right. The timeline lines up. But no, I started. It's so sad. I started seeing this girl. I might have already talked about this on that episode, but yeah, she let me like touch, see, and lick her boobs, and I just like didn't know what to do with the emotions that I felt. And then we just like stopped. I just like stopped answering her calls to my house. She was beautiful. I looked up what she's doing now. She lives in Australia now. She's literally like a 10. Like what? Like why? I mean, I understand I was like in 7th grade or whatever, but fuck, man. I just like every like good thing that comes my way, I just blow it.
It is sad to look back at all the like. I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm like, oh, maybe I already had sex with the hottest girls that I was going to for the rest of my life.
You can't think that. You can't be doing that.
Me and my friend Lee, we were talking on the phone recently, and he was saying, man, there were so many opportunities that you could have like had a wife, and I'm like, what do you mean? And we like went through all of the girlfriends that I had in order, and then at the end he was like, "Oh no, I was completely wrong. It was only the one. It was only the one, and you blew it." Like in his mind, he thought I had all these like lost loves, and it was like
no.
It was like only one girl who like I could have married.
I would say,
and then I just like got bored and broke up with her.
dude. That is I have to stop doing that because I would say I've had 4 relationships.
Well, it's because like it's because of our relationships with our parents. We're like, I meet a girl, and like, if I'm not actively working for her love at all times, I'm
Yeah.
like, what's wrong? Something's wrong here.
Exactly. I was talking about this with my friends back home who do their little therapy sessions with me as their fake son. They're like, yeah, you look for you look for chaos. Like things feel normal when there's some sort of like uphill battle. So when things are actually like good,
You need a project. Like if a relationship doesn't feel like a project that I'm maintaining, if it's not a fucking Porsche that I have rotting out in the yard.
yeah, it feels like you're doing busy. If it's not, then it feels like you're doing busy work. Like it feels like it's the same kind of guilt that I feel like when I'm like on set and I don't have anything to do. I'm like, I'm just fucking taking up space, wasting time. So like so in a good relationship, you're just like, where's the work? So you start creating work. You start like, creating problems. But I probably had like when I really think, but there were 4 girls who like, if I just hadn't like freaked out and hit the fucking, the nuclear button, I could have married any one of them and been very happy. Well, no, I wouldn't have been happy because I have this brain. But a normal person, well, I mean, honest, that's actually what's happening to them right now. They're in normal relationships with normal people and they're becoming happy. Well, fuck, dude. God damn it.
Well, that's time.
All right. This has been a fucking another one.
What's this one gonna drop? Is this is this before the end of the new year?
Maybe.
Wait, so Ari's on
Christmas Day.
Ari's on
That's
Christmas
our Christmas Day, dude.
So then this one's gonna be like, yeah, I guess so.
No, maybe not. It won't be the New Year. Will it? Because 7 days from... Maybe it will.
And this one's gonna come out New Year's Day. So Happy New Year.
Fuck, yes, dude.
Happy New Year to everybody. Did you have a show or something you wanted to plug?
Yeah, I do. If you're going to be in... I just realized I can try to record another episode tomorrow, by the way, because we're going to need one more.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're going to find out from these dates, so we're going to need one more.
Okay.
If anyone is in Maryland, November 2nd, I'll be at Joe Squared. If you want tickets to that from me on Facebook, I'll
November
post the link.
2nd?
I keep doing this. January 2nd. My brain doesn't work. January 2nd.
Creatine, dude.
Yeah, I know. No, I was doing this before the creatine. I've been on the phone with my father because he's like, people want to come out and see a show. I'm like, yeah, it's November 2nd. He's like, you don't mean that. You definitely don't mean November 2nd.
So January 2nd.
January 2nd, Joe Squared in Baltimore. And then January 12th at the Auto Bar, I'll be headlining the Second Saturday Shit Show upstairs. That's free. It's always packed. It's one of my favorite things to go home and do. And I'll probably be doing, I'm probably going to hop on other shows around D.C. while I'm back
Nice.
home.
So check Nick's Twitter for those dates. Go to Crawford's in Burbank on January 9th. I'm going to be on that show. Great lineup so far. It's going to be very fun. Yeah, that's it for the next couple weeks for me. All right, cool. Bye.
Make a baby leader on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up portfolio showing growth. Fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self suck. Oh fuck, I busted already. I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady. Now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo heavy petting on a Friday night. Not talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just right.